too. We're dancing for 45 seconds.
This might be the best day ever. Sorry, this is hysterical. Thank you for indulging us on Halloween. It's Helene. Welcome to Virtual Veg Fest Live and the Plant-Based Network. And yes, I'm a carrot. I never wear costumes, just so you know. But I'm in one today. It's the only one we have in the house. And I just like, oh, Kathy, you'll love this. So we're doing a special spooky Halloween cooking demo today because it's October 31st. And, you know, why not? It's COVID. It's a full moon. It's a time change in the United States. I mean, all these things. We had a hurricane come through this week. I mean, all interesting stuff. So thank you to Plant-Based Network. Our Pass the Buck campaign, we're finishing out October, is with Cows Come Home. Every $1 that you donate, you'll get entered to win a prize back from Hodo Foods. Hopefully you'll take me seriously while I'm in a carrot costume. And you can go donate. You can go to virtualvegfest.com and you can click the graphic and you can easily access donation, how to donate. And then if you like Virtual Veg Fest and you like Plant-Based Network, we've got prizes for you just for liking our social media. Go like the Plant-Based Network Instagram and you'll be entered to win a prize from Follow Your Heart. And if you like Virtual Veg Fest, Instagram and Facebook, you'll be entered to win prize packs from Follow Your Heart, Crafters Organics, Sun Warrior, Orgain. I mean, awesome stuff, right? So today, cooking demo, Kathy Hester. Absolutely love her. She's my fill-in. It was supposed to be Chef Claire, but Chef Claire is in Dubai. And we couldn't get our time zones right because she's awake when I'm asleep and I'm asleep when she's awake. So we'll try to reschedule that. But Kathy's got something planned because she always does. And we're going to go right over there. But just a reminder, it's election day on Tuesday. Please vote. North Carolina, it's already over. Early voting's done. So if you haven't voted, Tuesday. Don't mail any ballots. Nope, don't mail anything. Wherever you are, just go vote in person, masked up, gloves, whatever you have to do, hand sanitizer, wash your hands, but be safe. So let's bring Kathy on and let's get talking. Hey!
Hello. And that's Cheryl. A lot of you know my picky eater / wife, Cheryl. So we are big Halloween people. I'm sure you can't tell. I just taught a Harry Potter class. And in fact, this is my coat with a wand pocket. And this is a coat I wear on a regular basis. So you too can get over 50 and live the life you want to live.
That is right. If anyone has any questions or comments during the cooking demo, before or after, for Cheryl, for Kathy, for me, please write them in the box and we'll definitely get to them because we always do because Kathy's pretty awesome. So Kathy, what I mean, for anyone who hasn't seen you before, and for anyone who can take us seriously today, tell people who you are and what you do, and then we'll talk about what you're cooking.
Absolutely. So I'm Kathy Hester. I have 2 blogs, plantbasedinstantpot.com and healthyslowcooking.com. And hint, if you're looking for a last-minute easy Halloween dinner to make, healthyslowcooking.com. Click on the little magnifying glass. There's either near the top or the side, put in Halloween, and you'll have easy and fancy things, whatever you feel like. But you could make an easy potato soup that is ghoulishly green with decorating options. And seriously, it will cost you nothing. You probably have everything in your house. So that's one thing. I have a whole bunch of books. So I have like 10 traditionally published books. My latest one is Gluten-Free Vegan Instant Pot. No, gluten-free, vegan, cooking in your Instant Pot. They make the names very long, very long. Yeah. So that's one of them. But I have slow cooker cookbooks, air fryer cookbooks. I do a lot of different kinds of cooking that with options. So I am a very inclusive recipe developer. And what that means is if you're vegan or you're whole food plant-based, I've got you covered. So most of my recipes have gluten-free, soy-free options, salt-free options, oil-free options, and usually refined sugar-free options. There will be a few recipes that just aren't doable. But today is a great recipe that we could pretty much do for everyone. So I thought we would do my favorite Halloween sweet that is pretty close to being whole food plant-based. It is, I'm going to use in the demo melted chocolate chips, obviously melted vegan chocolate chips. There is cocoa butter in there. So if you're a very strict SOS person, you could skip dipping in the melted chocolate and just sprinkle cocoa, or kind of, they're sticky anyhow. If you roll them in some cocoa, we could do it like that. And in fact, let me see if I have some cocoa that I can just reach out of the cabinet. And we could do a demo if I do. Oh, there we go. And it's my special dark, which is the one that looks more black. I think, no, this may just be Trader Joe's regular cocoa powder. I may have just lied to you. Yeah, it's just regular cocoa powder, but we'll look at doing that too. So what we're going to do is we're going to make cockroach clusters. And I just like saying that, so I'm going to say it again. Yes, you heard me right. Cockroach clusters. It's a candy from Harry Potter books. So what we're going to do, and this is why it's close to whole food plant-based, we're going to use some dates. You want them to be pretty soft. And you want them to be pitted. And in fact, I bought these quite expensive ones that have pits at Whole Foods. Then we went to TJ Maxx and I got a pound, more than that, for $5. So, and these are super soft and easy to work with. The next thing you need is something we're going to put inside where the pit was that's going to make them crunchy, because we want them to go, so you just feel a little queasy. It's part of the, you've got to get the whole thing going. Atmosphere, scenery, it's all about the Halloween. Okay, and you could use a pretzel, and I have some gluten-free pretzels here. I'm going to use some peanuts. If you're nut-free, you could even use like some toasted pumpkin seeds or toasted sesame seeds, just really anything that has a crunch. You could also, if you have some SOS-friendly granola that's real crunchy, you could put that in too. If you're in North Carolina like I am, granola is going to lose its crunch within a day, right? It's just going to kind of try to turn back to oatmeal. So just know that. But you have options. And I'm going to go ahead and let you look overhead. So I've just put some dates out there. And move it up a little bit. And you want to have a piece of parchment, not for this part, but for what comes later on. So you'll either have a split in the date like that, which makes for easy in peanut or sunflower seed. And in fact, you could even put chocolate chips in there if you wanted to. And then we're going to close it up. And I have couple I made a minute ago here. So we're just going to make some of these. And you could do this with figs. You could do it with apricots if that's what you have. I'm sorry, I've got some date under my fingernail, which makes it look kind of gruesome. But I was actually teaching a class, so I was making vegan butterbeer syrup and pumpkin juice and all kinds of Harry Potter goodies before I came in here. So that one's a little bit overstuffed. Helene, what are you doing for Halloween?
Halloween's not my thing. It's really never been. So this is what I'm doing for Halloween.
Well, we'll be changing that once we can all be together again. You'll have to come to our, because we have an annual Gothic dinner party that obviously we're not having this year. So I do a multi-course sit down, and I can change this. It's really not that interesting to watch me stuff peanuts over and over again. However, if you need me to go back, I can. So like I'll do an amuse-bouche. So like a lot of times that'll be, and this recipe is actually on Healthy Slow Cooking. So I do like deviled potatoes. So you take the little potatoes, cook them, scoop with a little melon scoop. And one of the recipes I have, you put smoked avocado mousse in them. But you really can put a tofu salad, anything you want, and then top it with a pimento stuffed olive slice, and then it looks like an eye, and it's super creepy. And then we do a soup. I have done, and actually you can get the skull pot pie recipe. You can either make it in the little skull molds, which can be bought from Nordic Ware. And I've made cornbread in those and then turn them out because it's like 3D skull and rubbed smoked paprika on it. And it makes it look really creepy. And I did like, you'll hate this because I know you hate mushrooms, but I did like this really wonderful mushroom saute and put that and then put the skull on top of it.
Well, it was sounding delicious until the mushrooms.
I know. We would give you something else. We would give you some other scary stew on the bottom. But mushrooms, because it's kind of like mood lighting in here too. So then when you get to the mushrooms under the skull, you're kind of not sure what they are. And so that makes it fun too.
Yeah, it sounds delicious. I mean, these always influence what I make for dinner. But you're working on dessert. I don't have any peanuts in the house. I only have peanut butter powder and peanut butter.
You know, okay, here's what you could do. So this is kind of open anyhow. You could put like probably up to a half teaspoon, depending on how big your dates are. I'd start with a half teaspoon of peanut butter, and that would squish it down. You could do that too.
Yeah, that would be absolutely delicious. And like we said before we went live, even though dates are sweet and the the beer,
butterbeer
that's it, that you made is sweet too, but it's more like a caramel right now. You can definitely fill one of those babies with a caramel.
Yeah, well, what happens is when you use peanuts, and the peanut butter would be just as good too, is one of the reasons I like this is this does taste like a Snickers bar when you put it in the chocolate. And the cocoa, again, there is no right or wrong. Whatever your eating habits are, are perfectly fine for this. And I'll show, we're not going to use the pretzels, but I'll show you some in a little bit that Cheryl has drying. Okay, so let me get this where you can see it. So what I've done is I've put a half a cup of vegan chocolate chips and melted it on low or warm in the slow cooker. This is a little bitty slow cooker. If you have a little dipper that came with your slow cooker that you've never used, that is perfect. This is a 1.5 quart. You could also melt this on a double boiler or by making your own double boiler. So like if you had a little saucepan, put some water in there, heat it over like medium heat. Take a Pyrex dish that fits on top without going into the water. And that's your homemade double boiler. And you're just going to put the chips, and I put a little bit of coconut oil. So in the class I did, because it's Halloween, we're going crazy with a few things. So what the coconut oil does with the melted chips is it keeps it shiny instead of making it dull. Cockroaches don't care if they're shiny or not. So leave it out, right? You can leave it out and sprinkle cocoa on top if you're okay with using the chocolate chips. And then it's going to go ahead and be a textured surface anyhow. And we'll do one of those, and then we'll do one where we just see, I'll see how sticky it is and what we need to do to get some cocoa to stick to it. So back to here, okay? So what I'm going to do is you're going to carefully drop one of the dates in, take a fork, and just roll it around. I mean, this is easy. It's the easiest candy you'll ever make. You kind of take it there and shake off some of the extra chocolate, and then we're going to put it on our parchment paper. Okay, and then we're just going to repeat this. And you can put more than one in there if you want. It's totally up to you. This is your ball game now.
Yeah, I mean, chocolate, dates, peanuts. It is. It's an easier way to make a vegan or a whole food plant-based dish. Snickers bar.
Yeah, and because of the chocolate, it's not exactly. But I also did see at Trader Joe's, some cacao chips, and I decided not to use them because I haven't melted them yet. But they did not have any extra added oil. It was just cacao. So I don't know how they'll work on this, but it's worth trying if that's something you guys have just laying around. And I picked a bad plate. But it's also a Ouija board plate under there. So
it fits the mood.
Can't blame me for that. But see how easy it is? I'm just taking that and it's okay if it's not perfect. It's okay if you can tell where, if you can tell where the split is and you can get that on the bottom, that's a huge win, but it's not a loss if that doesn't happen. Okay. And then I'll show you one thing we were doing too, before I get too crazy, with some pretzels, because you can make legs and eyes with these. You could use, if you're going to put icing eyes on them, you want to let the chocolate get hard first. Now, I was noticing, I'm in Durham, North Carolina, that it's obviously humid. We're not drying very quick. And that is also okay. You could put it in the freezer. If it's cool outside, you could put it outside. But it can take anywhere from, I don't know, half an hour to 2 hours for these to dry on their own, depending on the humidity and the temperature. And I think Cheryl's bringing the ones in that were outside.
They're still pretty wet.
And she said they're still wet. But I'll let you see, because those have been probably made for an hour. So again, though, if you have this on a cookie sheet, then you can just throw it right in the freezer. And what I would do, especially if you're in North Carolina, is I would keep them in the fridge. And so how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You can probably get more than 2 dozen of these dates out of that half a cup of chocolate chips. So we're not using much chocolate per date. And this is really good. So we're calling them cockroach clusters now. So that sounds really spooky. But honestly, you can make these over the holidays or for New Year's and just call them chocolate stuffed dates and make them sound much more appealing. So this is a kind of a sugary snack you could pull out for all holidays. That's still better than chocolate or babka, right? You know? And these are a little more open. Oop, that one's way open. That one's gone. So I'm just going to take.
That way you just eat off the fork.
I'm going to let them dry and let them just be a plain chocolate covered date, because you can do that too. If there's just nothing crunchy that really either appeals to you or fits in with your dietary needs, then leave it out. That if you're using the chocolate, when it gets hard, it will make a little bit of a crunch. And see, this is just how quick and easy it is to make these, right? The only step that you guys didn't get to see me do was put plain chocolate chips and a tablespoon of coconut oil in there. And these guys, and you can see like so this is dry. See that? See how it's not as shiny as that? And if you look at the dates next to each other, you can see that these have started to dry some. So you can put little candy eyes on them, But you have to be very careful when you're looking for these eyes, and I do not know if there are any out this year that are vegan. So almost all of them, and I realized I didn't do any of those with the, we'll put some cocoa on some of these. And then I'll go back and do one with cocoa. And I'll let you see that again. So see, if you didn't want to do, or you want it to look a little bit grungier, you can do that, right? You can even just make it have little pieces where it looks a little less pretty, right? Because we're not looking for pretty cockroaches. We're looking for scary cockroaches today. And I'll get out a date and we'll try and roll it into, I'm going to see first how much of it sticks if I just do it like this. Okay, we don't need to do anything else. Okay, so you could make a whole food plant-based one easily. So let's go ahead. I know I've still got some peanuts. I'll grab a couple of them. And so these would be oil-free as long as your peanuts don't have any added oil in them. Okay. We'll close that up as good as we can and roll it in the cocoa. And now we have a whole food plant-based cockroach cluster. And in fact, honestly, if you wanted to make them tonight, it's easier and you don't have to wait for anything to dry. So this would be a great thing to do with your kids if you just have dates, cocoa, and you don't even have to stuff them with anything, but it's nice if you do. What do you think of those, Helene?
No, they look good. I mean, I would do the chocolate.
Right.
I love chocolate, but just cutting a date open and taking the pit out and putting peanut butter or whatever in it is a nice, healthy, delicious, sweet snack. I mean, you can't eat a tray of these. If you eat a tray of dates,
Yeah.
I'm super impressed by you.
Yeah, because they are very sweet. And just to go back real quick before I forget. So I was talking about, these are eyes that I've actually had for about 3 years. So I don't know if there are vegan eyes out and about at Michael's this year or not. Look at, Wilton often does some. And even when I got these, half of the eyes looked about the same, had gelatin in them. So there's hidden gelatin into a lot of things like this. So if you're looking to do it the vegan way, make sure to double check that. And you might be able to find some online. It's a little late today unless you just really want to have a nice activity. If you go to Fork and Beans and look up eyes, she has a recipe on how to make these vegan. She makes the little kind of like a white icing kind of thing that dries, and then she puts a mini chocolate chip in them. My friend Dawn was talking about you'd have to let the chocolate dry first before you did this. If you're using these little eyes, you can plop those. Here, we'll put one. Let's see where you can see better here. I'm just going to give them a one eye. Actually, perhaps I will look and make sure the eyeball is facing up before I do that. That would make it better.
And Susan said that cashew butter would be a great option too, and almond butter as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, on the inside, you really can do anything that you feel good about. Again, for Halloween in specific, I like to have that crunch. And so it just depends. Like if you're doing Chef AJ's eating plan, pretzels and nuts are out. And so is the chocolate chips. So, but you could, put the date and roll it in some cocoa, and that's still pretty awesome.
That's true. And of course, there's you can actually do almonds, cashews without, to get the crunch. I mean, you can use walnuts. There's so many different nuts or seeds, like you said. Like I've eaten a date stuff with halva, which is sesame seeds. Oh, it's a sassoul. The nuts, yeah, it's sassoul, the one in North Raleigh by me over on Six Forks. right? In
Okay, we've been
Strickland,
there.
their stuffed date, their vegan stuffed date is I have to get one every time I go because it's just that good. Their halava, they make their own. And halava, if you don't know, for anyone, is a Jewish delicacy or a Middle Eastern type delicacy that is sesame seeds and sugar. So it's at the healthiest thing. It's very fattening and very high in calories, but it is, if you have a sweet tooth, delicious.
Yeah, and dates are really great. And if you like, one of the things that we were talking about in my class too is someone was saying they were getting good dates at Target at inexpensively. Somebody else said they found some good ones at Costco. So I think with dates, a lot of times, so for me, like I got some with my Misfit Market and they were really pretty hard. So I would use them and let them soak and use them in a date paste, but it wasn't very sweet. I was pretty disappointed. I've used, I like these bags because you can feel them and you can go, oh, these are nice and juicy and soft. And that's what I really would prefer to have like this, because since we're not making it into a caramel or a date paste of some kind, we want to have that kind of candy bar caramel mouthfeel. And I think a nice soft date does that perfectly.
Oh, definitely. I'm a fan of Majol dates. And that's
Mm.
you can get them at Costco. They have organic ones, and BJ's has the non-organic Majol dates in like 2 pound containers. So that's a yeah. Dates are always in the house, so one goes into my smoothie daily. So
Wow, that's
yeah.
yummy.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was saying too, like when you make a real butterbeer syrup, I mean, you're using not whole food plant-based ingredients. It's like brown sugar and full fat coconut milk and a little bit of vegan butter. So it's the opposite of. However, you can always make a vanilla date syrup or a thinned vanilla date paste. And you could use that, put it in like some oat milk, add a little bit of extra ground chia seeds, like a tablespoon or two. So like, let's go all the way back. About a quarter cup of oats, 3 cups of water, because you're going to make oat milk. So you make the oat milk and have the date in there, you know, or put your date paste with the vanilla. Then add a little bit, a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of super ground chia seeds. And like, I mean, not the ones that you buy that say they're ground, because I'm talking this. So I put these through a spice grinder, right? So they're really, really thin and finely ground. So what that's going to do, like a Frappuccino, they use xanthan gum, and you could use xanthan gum to do this too. And then puree all that together. Then get not ground ice. There's no such thing. Crushed ice is what I mean. And so I just go to the fridge, take the blender, get all the crushed ice, and then I puree it, and it basically makes an ice creamless milkshake that's butterbeer flavored.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you guys could do that. And I wanted to do these cockroach clusters specifically because it's Halloween, and I think most kids don't have something cool to do because of the pandemic. So I've heard mixed things, so I don't know if anybody's trick-or-treating. We actually dropped off little goodie bags at, in our neighborhood for houses that have kids. And some people were at home and some weren't, so we like wrote a note of like, we're at this address, and we're Cheryl, Kathy, and Max, the white pity you see, so they don't feel like they're eating some weird stranger's candy. Do you know what I mean? But if you have kids at home, they can still dress up, right? You could still carve a pumpkin. I bet you can still find one at the grocery store. But even if you don't want to go that far, let them stuff some peanuts in a date and melt some vegan chocolate chips, because this is something they could do and then decorate and really make this a special Halloween, even if they're staying in at home. Because I really feel for how different it's been all year. And this is kind of the one time of the year that kids get to go out and be a little bit, you know, sassy and dress up and go places they don't normally go.
Yeah, no, exactly. I can't get through an hour of time without a dog barking typically. So, and yeah, no, it's, I mean, like I'm a carrot.
You are a carrot. You're a carrot on the inside.
Oh, I think we went to a K-A-R-A-T carrot. That's awesome.
You're funny. Does anybody have any questions either about, do you need some Halloween ideas? Oh, Cheryl, do you know where my foil is? Like aluminum foil? There's some somewhere. Because I can show you one more trick that you can do at home if I can find it. I didn't think about this. Oh, I got some. I think this one's a little water damaged, but that'll just make it look scarier. So what you can do, oh, I don't have a lot. I don't have very much of this, but let's see if we can make this work. Yeah, she's just going to come to a dance while I'm figuring that out. Okay, so here's what another thing you can do with your kids. Is you take a piece of aluminum foil. See how it's a spooky face? And so then you can like shape it some. You can try and find my scissors. You want to hand me some scissors? And you can put a candle in it. So you can cut the hair. Like let's do some Bart Simpson hair. So you can do some hair. And then you can come and poke an eye out. And so if you don't want to get a pumpkin, ooh, let's do a scary mouth.
Cheryl.
So see, and then you can tape this around a candle. And you got a candle? Do we have a bigger candle than that? It's hard to see with all the lighting. But I don't think you can see it with the lighting. But let me see if we see it overhead. So it's fun because you can, and see, you can make the nose more. You can actually use this like sculpt it, right? You can make the nose funny. You can make the eyes big. Yeah, I don't think that's going to do it either. We can have funny mouth. Yeah, it's just not showing up good on camera. The thing is this is so light. You can sort of see. But it just kind of gives you something to start off. And the kids can do if you don't have access to pumpkins. So that's another thing. And then I really would recommend the potato soup. Cheryl's bringing me something else. There's always something else, you guys. So
that was so unexpected.
Oh, my man.
Yes, it was awesome.
It's actually when I was in grad school and I had a Halloween party and didn't have enough money to buy pumpkins, I did like 20 of them around candles all over the house. And like I did different spooky ones. And you could like, what is it? Is it like the mask? It's one of the horror movies masks. They have like the 3 things down. If you do it like that and you have a bright candle, it looks really spooky in a dark room. So I don't know how many people are watching right now, Helene. Are there some people watching live?
Oh, there are, yeah. This is the best.
I'm married to that. And she says she's shy.
Well, she's got a mask on. She's all good.
Oh, and you can start to see these guys are finally starting to dry a little bit. I'll let you see overhead again so you can see. And then what I'd love to do, because I know you're talking about giving away things, would it be okay if I gave away something to someone who's watching?
Of course.
Because I have a Halloween ebook too, full of us. So see how it's a different kind of shiny now. And actually, this one may be ready to be picked up. Almost. North Carolina humidity. But You can see how that's way, way shiny. But the reason it's not funky colored is because of the coconut oil. So here's the thing. So we've got this wheel of fate that's pretty fun. Here, we'll play it once, and then I'll give you some choices. But you got to hear it first. It takes its time. Isn't that cute? So, okay, I'll hold this upside down. And so pick one of these, you guys who are watching. There's You Don't Want to Know, Screaming Heading Your Way, Don't Wander Too Far, Happy Times Ahead, Watch Your Back, Treats Will Be Yours, Prepare to Be Scared, It Looks Exciting. So pick one of those and put it in the comments. And Helene will tell me, well, we can talk for a while, and Helene will tell me what you're putting. And actually, if you want, I can leave this here so you can see.
So what's the prize?
The prize you're going to win.
It's the ebook, right? That's ebook.
Yeah, is a Ghoulish Gourmet, a vegan Halloween ebook. So it's got, I think, 15 or 20 recipes in it. So it has the ghoulish soup. It has some whoopie pies. It has center version and saint versions, and one that's more whole food plant-based and one that is absolutely not. It has little coffin loaves. It's got one of Cheryl's favorite things, which is, what is that Paneer you used to eat before you became vegan? Oh, chili paneer. So it's chili tofu. So, and what it is Indo-Chinese food. So it's like, if you go in Morrisville, there's this great Chinese restaurant that is really serves the Indian community. So the way there's American Chinese food, there's Indian Chinese food. So there's usually some cumin and different things in there. It's really nice.
Yeah, Inchins, right? You're talking about Inchins?
Yeah. And so that's kind of cool too. So do we have anybody putting things in there?
We do. We have It Looks Exciting. We have 2 Watch Your Backs. And then everyone else, we got the Ghoulish Gourmet is amazing. Had the chili tofu the other night. Okay, Brandy just wrote that.
Oh, I was about to say, is that Brandy? Because Brandy is a big fan. And it's really good. Okay, then I'll give it a minute more. Do you have any questions for me, Helene? And before we do the giveaway?
Just so everyone else is watching, just, pick your poison so that you could win this. I mean, we got 3. I mean, obviously, I can't read them from here, but I'm sure Kathy will show it again.
Yeah, I will. I just feel weird just like making you look at this wheel and drawing chocolate. It just seems wrong.
I mean, you just put in one of these because, I mean, it could mean that you could win this cool ebook of recipes, and we can hear this neat little wheel of fate go. So everyone else is watching. If you want to get in, I know 3 of you. There's more of you. Exciting time ahead. Thank you, Brandy. So anyone else want to get in on this so that you can win something cool? I mean, who doesn't like to win? So I can take the screaming option, who's Jackie. And Susan just said, prepare to be scared. Okay, very good. That's awesome.
Okay. And if anybody just has some general Halloween questions or general vegan cooking questions, or are you whole food now but you're vegan? If you're trying to figure out how to, change your dish a little bit, I'm up for all questions.
Oh, definitely. I love that. Yeah, especially when Kathy and I are both gluten-free. So if you go that direction, we can definitely help you with that. And she wasn't gluten-free up until like a year and a half ago. So everything before that.
But I was still writing recipes that had gluten-free options because I feel like it's just like with the Halloween stuff. Like one of the reasons I was excited, because this is like my big day. For me, it's my favorite holiday. But I think people forget, just because you're not eating what everybody else eats doesn't mean it can't be amazing and that you can't have some of the same things.
Exactly. So Kathy, let's spin the wheel. Let's see who's gonna win. Hopefully it'll be like on something that somebody picked.
If not, we'll pick another one. I'm trying to get close so you can hear it really good. You're seeing me.
Ooh, ooh.
Looks exciting.
It's exciting. Oh my God, it looks exciting with Linda Fowler.
Okay, Linda. I will send you a link. Actually, I know Linda, so I know that I have all of her information.
Yep.
So I'll get that together for her. And Linda, if you already have a copy or you're not interested, I will also give you the information. If you want to give it to somebody else, you can do that too. I'll get you a coupon code.
Also,
Cheryl wants me to do it again. Should we do it again? Do people wish they had won?
Oh, go for it. I mean, no one's gonna say no. So Jackie wants to know if you showed the floating candles hanging. I think I can see them in the back.
You can sort of see them. So, like, I wonder if I'm in front of it, does it show up more? And part of the thing is that it's just not dark yet, right? So, like, here's another one too. Oh, here, this will help. I've got a big tray over here that maybe you'll see them better. But of course, I have to take all the things off the tray, like little mini gravestones and trees. But I bet you can see them better now. Does that help?
Yeah.
No? Yeah. Cheryl, can you look at can you see it better that way or no? Just a little bit better? So they're all over here, but we were kind of hoping for a more clouded day. And also, happy Halloween. You guys, we have like 15 bins of Halloween decorations. Oh my gosh, she's so creepy today. Maybe we should go to the neighbors and try and let her hit them candy. No. My parents everywhere. I promise we would not do anything like that. That would be terrifying. Okay. Somebody's going to win something. Prepared to be scared.
Susan just won an ebook. That's awesome.
Okay, Susan, what I need you to do is email me at Kathy, Kathy, Hester, Hester, @gmail.com. And then I will send you your code and you would be able to download it immediately. So if you email me right now, as soon as I get off, I will look for that and do it. At some point, we are going to have our own small Halloween festivities. We're going to watch some fun movies. And Cheryl said, what did you say on WRAL? Yeah, that she. So we were saying she found on WRAL that there were some recommended neighborhoods to go and look at the Halloween decorations, kind of like Christmas decorations. Because I know there's some places that you can go, like the scare farms now, or like drive-through. But as much as I love Halloween, I don't like the murdery part of Halloween. There's the smiling pumpkins, which are a little too cutesy. Murder is too much. I'm just a little more like witchy, ghosty, slight scares kind of things. And I do like to see when people, like some people really do up their houses. So I think we're going to drive around there. So if you don't catch us before then, which would probably be about dark, then I'll get it to you when we get back. But just email me now, Kathy Hester @gmail.com.
Yep, she said she will. And she's one of my teammates at Plant-Based Network. So
awesome.
She's aware of all the stuff because you're part of Plant-Based Network as well.
I am. And I'm hoping, if things work out, we're trying to get the recordings because I did 2 classes on Chibo.io. That's what I did a class with today. And we're supposed to be able to get the recordings. So maybe some spooky stuff could be coming to the Plant-Based Network if it works out.
Everyone's like really supportive with the comments. Congratulations, back and forth. So it's like really cool. So everyone,
Oh, nice.
like thank you for being just, wonderful viewers and watching. That's pretty awesome. And if if you want one of Kathy's books, you can go to virtualvegfest.com because we sell a lot of books on virtualvegfest.com, a lot of Kathy's books. So you can definitely go there and pick one up. And we're going to do gift certificates on virtualvegfest.com.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, and what we're doing whatever I have in the house. So I think we have two the vegan slow cooker revised edition cookbooks left. We think that's how many. So that's getting down, but we have still have the Outrageous Oatmeals book, which is out of print. So it's the perfect place to get it. And it helps support the Veg Fest, which makes me happy. And I have the gluten-free vegan cookbook for your Instant Pot. And I think we have do we have some first Instant Pot cookbooks too? If it's on,
if it's there,
just go and look. Yeah, it'll say on there if we have it or not. I don't have all the cookbooks because I don't have all of them physical.
I think I found some more of the slow cooker cookbooks, so if I did, I'll update the quantity.
So Cheryl may have found some more books. She'll update the quantity. But I love it when you buy things through there. And then what you can do too is you can either put a note on there that you want me to write something special to you or to somebody else if you want to give it as a gift. And I love doing that. And then Cheryl totters off to the post office and mails them. And she's a good packer. I am not. She is.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, there's like we think about lots of things for the holiday season with Virtual Veg Fest to help people shop. So I'm gonna be throwing some stuff on there, and maybe something really cool that we're working on in the background as well, which I'm not gonna announce yet. But I bought another domain.
But maybe you'll tell me in secret.
Oh, of course.
Okay. Because I want to feel special because it's Halloween. That could be my treat for Halloween. And for all of you, I know a lot of probably people who are already on my private Facebook group, Vegan Recipes, Cooking with Kathy Hester, because they're super friendly, awesome, supportive space. And I would love it if those of you who aren't already a member to join in. So that's on Facebook, Vegan Recipes, Cooking with Kathy Hester. And where it asks you questions, you can just say, saw you on Veg Fest Halloween. And then you don't have to answer everything. But you could also join my mailing list just by putting your email address in there too. So it's all easy and compact. And like Brandy and Linda and Jackie, there are tons of amazing, wonderful, supportive people. So if you ask a recipe question over there, if Facebook tells me something happened, I come over real fast, but it's been a little funky. But one of my wonderful people will jump in and be helpful too. So it's great if you're new to a vegan or plant-based diet.
Oh, that's awesome. Because being supportive is the way to help people last.
Right. Well, and we all start at different places. So in my group, we have vegans, we have whole food plant-based, we have SOS, SOFAs, which Chef AJ's way of eating, and we have people who just do meatless Mondays.
Yep.
And they're transitioning slowly or just having meatless Mondays. And so it's really important that the group support everybody in the place that they're at right now. And it does a really great job of that. And I'm very proud of it. Natalie Slater from Bake and Destroy, I don't know if you know her. She also does marketing for Upton's Naturals. She says it's the best vegan group on Facebook. And it's because I make people behave. So people start to, every once in a while, like once a year, someone will say something. They had a bad day. They said what they wanted to say, and then it's removed. And we have a talk. And so I'm like, I guess it's time to have the talk again. But there are all different kinds of people here. But it's like what? I think there's 7,000 people in there, and this happens maybe once a year.
Oh, that's really good.
It's amazing. It's amazing that, because there's so many groups that there's on Facebook, especially where people like to fight a lot. And my group is a place to support everybody where they are.
Exactly. And then you're part of like the vegan recipe page, Triangle Beyond Vegan Recipe page. You're one of our group admin people on there too, which we know is also a safe space to just learn recipes and that's it. No drama, no spam, no self-promotion. Even though we both do so many things, we don't promote ourselves in there. It's all about food and recipes, and that's it. With reminders.
It's true.
Yep.
And you know what, Helene, you should probably drop that in the comments so that anybody who's not already on there, because you don't have to be in the triangle to join that.
Yep.
And you too can drop some of your favorite recipes over there, and it's okay. Like they're okay with bloggers putting some stuff. You just don't want to like put a bunch of stuff all the time. Like even I maybe put once or twice a week. If it's a crazy recipe development week, I might do once a day, but different things. So if you're a blogger, just know that. And if you're a consumer, it gives you some different recipes and viewpoints than maybe you would see if you just search the web by yourself. So I think it's kind of nice to get those recommendations.
Oh, definitely. And then you can, I just posted a recipe yesterday and then made it for dinner last night. Posted a picture in the comments of what I made with the edits, because I always change recipes, of what I changed in making it. And it was absolutely delicious. I made like this, and I didn't eat it cold. It was like this cold peanut noodle thing, which we ate hot. It was warmish. But I added like frozen vegetables and edamame, which is nowhere in the recipe. So, but that's what you do. I use cashews, not peanuts, because I don't have peanuts in the house, and there go the dogs. So Kathy, you can start talking.
Oh, that's okay. Well, and that's the thing about recipes. So one of the things that I teach a lot about is use what you have on hand. And that's even why I wanted to talk about this is our sweet component for Halloween, and that you could literally cook up some potatoes with some water and a little bit of vegetable bouillon added in. And then you could puree a cup of spinach or kale or Swiss chard or whatever green you have with some of that cooked water, and then mash the potatoes in your pot, pour that back, and now you have green potato soup, right? So all you need is something green, which almost every vegan and whole food person has in their fridge, and some potatoes. Again, very vegan, whole food, plant-based centric. And that's all it is. You know, I put a little bit of garlic in there, and I put some nutritional yeast and a little liquid smoke. And again, that's a recipe you can get on healthyslowcooking.com. Just use the search button above or down near the bottom and search potato soup. And then you've got yourself a nice Halloween feast, and you can make it with your whole family. It's super fun.
Yeah, it sounds delicious and easy. Yeah, so I'm just putting that into the notes too. There we go. I'll have that come up in a second.
Awesome.
There we go. Oops, .com. It's, it's okay.com. It's close. It's close.
That's okay.
Yeah, you know what it is. You don't copy and paste.
And what I'll try and do too, when we get off of here, I'll try to go into the comments and I'll put a link to the potato soup, or Brandy. If you're there, you're like Queen O the links. If you could go and put a link to the potato soup, that would also be awesome. Or Linda.
Yeah, Brandy actually just commented about the potato soup, that she's made it on a rainy summer day. It's not just for Halloween. I mean, none of these recipes are just for Halloween. I mean, you can eat green potatoes any time of year. It's just, making spooky potatoes. You're calling them spooky. So
yeah, and one of them I make like a little swamp monster. It's actually the cover of the Ghoulish Gourmet is this green soup. And so if you get a red bell pepper that has those like humps on the bottom, you cut off one of those humps and put it in the middle. And then you put an eye. You could actually use a slice of like parsnip or daikon and a black sesame seed. And then you cut thin strips and you just put the tentacles coming up different levels of the water. And it looks so cool. And then you're getting your family to eat fresh bell peppers.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So yeah, like if the worst thing they have today or any other holiday is potatoes, fresh bell peppers, dates, and a droplet of chocolate, I think you're doing pretty great on kids.
Oh, definitely. And Brandy did post the link, so because Brandy's
Thank
awesome.
you. Brandy is awesome. She is the most awesome of all the awesome people.
With 2 thumbs up from Cheryl.
Yay! Well, does anybody have any questions for me? Because if not, I think that we're probably getting ready to
wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, thank you once again for being my last minute fill in. Obviously, Brandy said the more fun the food is, the better it tastes. Yeah, that's true too. And it's even better when somebody else makes you that fun food. So
It is.
You're welcome, Cheryl.
She's going to be no. So we're going to be eating these cockroach clusters for like November, probably.
I know, because they're really like a one a day thing. They
really you don't need a whole lot of them before you're full. And Helene, I think I want a new title though. Instead of being like your last minute fill in, can I be like the ringer?
The ringer? Oh yeah. Definitely.
Okay. I like that. That makes me feel like special.
Well, you are special. So there we go. So Ashley said that she's late again, but she's sorry. But she has to say that Cheryl looks amazing.
Can take a bow. That camera.
Ashley, you have to watch from the start when this like replays. You have to watch from the start to see how we open this. Because we had some dancing and some music. So yes, you can definitely freeze the clusters. That's Brandy's question. You definitely can.
Oh yeah. And what may happen is they may get some discoloration in the chocolate a little bit, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that anything's bad. Just know that. And the same thing, like I know you've all gotten candy bars before that the chocolate was kind of weird. You're like, what if it's bad? It's usually just that the oil melted and got back together in different weird places. So that could happen if you freeze it and maybe you left the door of your freezer ajar.
Or it melted, like you melted on the way home from the market. Oh, Cheryl must have done that. So you melted on the way home from the market, and then you put it back into the fridge or the freezer. The chocolate will get like that, those white strands in it. Yeah. You know, or when it gets older, it gets like that too. So, you know.
And a lot of times it's because when it's older, it's because it has had temperature changes. Yep. And this is like the lowest level of like pseudo decent chocolate stuff. So I'm actually one of my kind of blogging video students is a chocolatier, like a fancy one who does art designs. So she probably would like pass out if she saw all this. But for me, this is nice shiny chocolate. My chocolate didn't seize up or anything, so I'm very proud.
Exactly. Yeah, the oil will help it from seizing too. So yeah, and of course, you can always use a microwave if you don't have any of the fancy gadgets.
Oh, absolutely. Just be careful when you microwave the chocolate chips, especially if you're not using any coconut oil, to do it little by little, like maybe 45 seconds, 30 seconds at a time.
Yep.
Yeah, and stir, because if not, then it really will seize up and be gross really quickly.
Yeah. You can take that if it happens to you, because it's happened to me where the chocolate seizes up. You can make hot chocolate.
Yeah, it's not a total loss. You just can't use it for like the dipping anymore. Like it's not really a savable kind of thing.
Right. It's not for what it's definitely not. It won't work. You cannot add things to it to make it go back to that smooth flowing consistency.
And don't try adding water to it. Don't do it. No. It is the anti making chocolate better thing to do.
Yeah, or almond milk or anything. You end up with, milk chocolate, hot chocolate, like chocolate milk. You end up with.
That is delicious.
Yes, but not, you have to start over for what you're actually planning on doing.
Yeah. It's not so bad. I mean, and again, so like here, half a cup of chocolate chips probably would do almost a pound of dates. Pretty close, unless, so I mean, even if you lost a half a cup of chocolate chips, you probably still have 2 more cups of chocolate chips, at least another cup in your chocolate chip bag.
Brandy said, when life gives you seized chocolate, make hot chocolate.
That's awesome. I love it. I
That's
love it.
fantastic. Well, Kathy, once again, you're my ringer, you're my closer. You are fantastic. I appreciate you. I love you, you and Cheryl. And yeah, we will get to the point where we can, you'll get me to dress up and come over with Steven and do a dinner and we'll bring food too. But I don't know when that's going to be.
Right, it will happen, and we are here and waiting for when it does. And everybody, I hope that you're having a wonderful and safe Halloween, probably where you are right now, and that you're having some yummy things, and just enjoy the holiday for what it is today
Yep.
at your home.
Exactly. Safely, social distance if you are outside, masked, and make sure that you carry hand sanitizer if you're going to walk around and touch things, because you don't want to touch stuff and be outside and then start touching your face. That wouldn't be a
Or
great
opening up
idea.
chocolate and pulling things out to put in your mouth.
Exactly. This is definitely a wait until you get home and clean stuff off day if you're going to be
Yeah.
out there. I know they'll be out in my neighborhood, so I haven't had a trick or treater at this house in 7 years, so not going to come to this door.
Well,
But
usually we have no one, but we know that some this year we've had at least 3 families in our really immediate neighborhood that have kids. And so one of the things we wanted to do is just to go ahead and bag some stuff up and drop it off. So we did things that were all, closed little things of candies, but we also did, some pencils and yo-yos and little things like that. So because when I decorate over the years, I buy all that stuff and like I make a tablescape like nobody for Halloween. And there's always, like Dracula teeth and bubbles and all of these things. So we have, all of that from all the years. And we just went ahead. It's like, it's time to give away the stuff we haven't used to kids who can really enjoy it today.
oh, that was wonderful. Thank you for doing that. Hopefully you made those kids' days and the parents realize that it's safe.
I know. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, we put our actual address on it so they would know where it was coming from.
Exactly.
So.
You wake up tomorrow and there'll be little bags on your porch.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I hope they don't feel like they have to get us anything, because that's not why we only did it, because it's like we're not creepy. We live down the street.
Unless you watch this live.
Somehow I don't think they're vegan. However, all the candy is vegan. So again,
Right.
oh yeah. And so Cheryl donated some of her vegan gummies that were in little packets. So that's what she keeps whispering in my ear. I donated my vegan gummies. I donated my vegan gummies.
Well, that was very generous of you. It's very sweet of you too. And I like you on with Kathy. You should, come and kind of creep on more often.
She dressed up like a Death Eater during the Harry Potter class and surprised me and came through the side door.
That's fantastic.
Yes, it was. It's been an exciting day. So everybody hang in there. And thank you again, Helene, for letting me come on my favorite holiday, though. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean, we'll just make this annual. We'll just put it in the books now.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you're the perfect person for Halloween. So we'll just, and I'm sure there'll be another day where I send you a message and say, hey, at least I give you a day's notice instead of a few hours.
Life is easy, and I love sharing information with people. So I appreciate getting to get out there and give somebody something fun to make.
Yeah, well, like I said, thank you again. And I'm going to close this out and I'm going to say goodbye to you two. And I look forward to, Ashley, we'll add this first before we go. Ashley just said, I've only been here for like 5 minutes. My face hurts from smiling. Have a great and safe holiday, everyone. Yeah, I know. Actually, my cheeks hurt. I've smiled more during this live, I think, than I've had any other one I've done. My cheeks actually hurt.
And you guys, you'll be able to rewatch it as soon as we get off. Then Facebook will do it, and you'll be able to come back to the same place and watch it from the beginning. Ashley,
right? You can go to Virtual Veg Fest on YouTube and subscribe, and you can watch all our lives and make it even easier there. So that would be awesome because we've had some great people on. So, well, you two, I will definitely see you soon. Okay? Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, that was so much fun. It was so much fun. Thank you, all of you, for supporting Virtual Adventurous Live and the Plant Based Network and for joining us. And Ashley, you'll enjoy like seeing the the beginning. The beginning is great. So once again, everybody, please wear a mask. I've got my Plant Based Network mask. It'll go over your ears and over your nose and under your chin. Don't wear it like this. Don't wear it like this. Don't wear it like this. Just make sure that you wear it correctly when you go out, especially if you're going to go out today for like your trick or treating in your carrot costume. And like I said when I started, please vote. Election day is on Tuesday. At this point, don't mail anything. Just go vote safely as best that you can. And thank you so much, Susan. Happy Halloween. And Brandy for being here again. That was amazing. Thank you for hosting. And we appreciate all of you. And we will see you next week. I have absolutely no idea who's coming on next week. So let's go take a look. On Thursday, we have Jennifer Hadley on Thursday. She is an amazing photographer at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then it looks like on Sunday the 8th, we've got Karen from Fine Veg Love. So if you're single and you're vegan and you're looking for love, you might want to tune in next Sunday. Other than that, have a great rest of your weekend, a safe Halloween, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from me somewhere on my social media before Tuesday and voting. Bye, everyone.